In the rolling hills of Galilee, a young shepherd boy named Ephraim tended his flock. He was a kind-hearted lad but often struggled with feelings of insignificance. His village was bustling with talk about a man named Jesus of Nazareth, a healer, teacher, and miracle worker who spoke of God's love for everyone, even the lowliest among them. Ephraim wondered if such words could truly be meant for someone like him. One fateful evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Ephraim discovered that one of his lambs was missing. Frantically, he searched the fields, calling out for the lost lamb. The other shepherds urged him to leave it be. "It's just one lamb," they said. "It's not worth the risk to search for it in the dark." But Ephraim couldn't bear the thought of leaving his lamb alone, vulnerable to the dangers of the night. With his staff in hand, he ventured into the wilderness. The hills were steep, and shadows seemed to stretch endlessly, but Ephraim pressed on, guided by the faint bleating he thought he could hear in the distance. As hours passed, exhaustion set in, and despair began to creep into his heart. He knelt on the rocky ground and prayed aloud, "Lord, if you are truly the good shepherd I have heard about, please guide me to my lamb." At that moment, a voice broke the stillness. "You are searching for one, yet you are not alone." Startled, Ephraim turned to see a man standing nearby, illuminated by the moonlight. It was Jesus. His eyes were warm, his presence calming. "Come," Jesus said, extending a hand. "Let us find the lost together." Walking beside Jesus, Ephraim felt an unshakable peace. Soon, they found the lamb trapped in a thicket, trembling but unharmed. Jesus gently freed it and handed it to Ephraim, smiling. "Even the smallest and weakest are precious in the eyes of the Father," Jesus said. "Just as you sought this lamb, so does God seek each one of his children. And just as you would not give up on this lamb, neither will he give up on you." Ephraim's heart swelled with understanding. "But I'm just a boy," he said. "How can someone like me matter to God?" Jesus knelt beside him, placing a hand on his shoulder. "The kingdom of heaven belongs to those who have faith like a child. You matter because God's love is not measured by strength, status, or skill. It is unconditional, boundless, and eternal. Just as you risked everything for your lamb, God would do the same for you." Ephraim returned to the village with the lamb cradled in his arms, his heart brimming with a newfound sense of worth and purpose. He shared his story with anyone who would listen, inspiring others to believe in the unyielding love of the Good Shepherd. Years later, as Ephraim grew, he often thought of that night and the lesson it brought him. The story of the lost lamb became a cornerstone of his faith. He lived his life striving to emulate the same compassion Jesus had shown him, helping the weak, comforting the lost, and reminding everyone that no one is too small or too broken to matter in the eyes of God. Message: no one is insignificant in the eyes of God. Just as a shepherd never abandons a single lamb, God's love reaches every corner of our lives, seeking us even when we feel lost. True greatness lies not in power or status, but in the simple, profound truth that we are all loved beyond measure.